What if I told you? There was a verse in the Quran revealed because someone standing right next to the Prophet was on the verge of burning in hell forever. A man who prayed, spoke like a believer, looked like a Muslim, but his heart was hiding a terrifying secret. This verse didn't just warn him, it warns us, and the story behind it will leave you speechless. In the early days of Islam, when the Prophet Muhammad was building the foundation of a righteous society in Medina, a powerful verse was revealed, one that would shake the hearts of the believers and expose the darkness hidden behind false declarations of faith. This verse wasn't revealed in isolation. It came down because of a man who stood among the Muslims, prayed with them, spoke their language, wore their clothes, but his heart was not with them. He was a munafiq, a hypocrite, and Allah, in his infinite knowledge and justice, exposed what was buried deep inside his soul. The verse is from Surah An-Nisa, verse 145. Indeed, the hypocrites will be in the lowest depths of the fire, and never will you find for them a helper. Inal manafikina fid darkilas fali minan nar. This wasn't just a general warning. This was a direct response to events happening in Medina, real people, real faces, real betrayal. One of those faces belonged to Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul, the leader of the hypocrites. Outwardly he posed as a Muslim, but inwardly he burned with jealousy, hatred, and pride. Before the Prophet arrived in Medina, Abdullah ibn Ubay was about to be crowned king. The people admired him, and he had long awaited the day he would rule. But Islam changed everything. The Prophet's arrival shattered his dreams of power, and instead of submitting fully to the will of Allah, his heart turned bitter. Though he accepted Islam with his tongue, his actions betrayed his disbelief. He began spreading rumors, mocking the believers, and attempting to sow division within the Muslim community. During the expedition of Tabuk, he and other hypocrites stayed behind, making excuses, and at Uhud he betrayed the Muslims by withdrawing with 300 of his followers just before the battle. But perhaps one of his most dangerous acts was when he slandered the honor of Aisha, the wife of the Prophet, in the incident of Al-Ifk, the great lie. He fanned the flames of gossip and nearly tore the community apart. Despite all this, the Prophet continued to treat him with dignity. But Allah sees what the eyes cannot. Allah hears what the tongue dares not speak. And so verses were revealed warning, exposing, and condemning the hypocrites. This specific verse, the lowest depths of hell, wasn't just for Abdullah ibn Ubay. It was a label, a category, a terrifying position for all who declare belief while secretly opposing Allah and His Messenger. Think about that for a moment. The lowest part of hell is not for murderers, not for disbelievers, not even for Pharaoh or Abu Lahab. No, the very bottom, the darkest, coldest, most isolated pit is reserved for hypocrites. Why? Because they dared to lie about loving Allah. They dared to stand beside the Prophet while plotting against him behind his back. They wore the face of a believer but hid the heart of a traitor. When this verse was revealed, it wasn't just ink on a scroll or words in the air. It was a thunderous warning that made the Sahaba tremble. Umar ibn al-Khattab, the fearless warrior, once wept fearing that he might be counted among the hypocrites. That's how heavy the verse was. Even those who had sacrificed everything for Islam were afraid, because hypocrisy isn't just a belief, it's an infection of the soul. It begins small, missing prayers, mocking Islamic rulings, envying believers, loving the praise of people over the pleasure of Allah, and if not cured, it leads to the lowest depths of hell. This verse serves not only as a historical reference but as a mirror for every one of us today. How many of us say La ilaha illallah with our mouths but live like we never heard it? How many attend Friday prayers but mock hijab, salah, or Islamic laws in private? How many preach on social media but are addicted to sins in secret? If we're not careful, we too might wear the face of a believer and carry the heart of a hypocrite. This verse was revealed because someone was about to burn forever. Allah didn't need to reveal it, but He did out of mercy. to warn us before it's too late, to give us a chance to examine our hearts and cleanse them, because once the soul leaves the body, there's no turning back. Hypocrisy won't just be a label, it will become a sentence, and hellfire will not just burn. It will consume the soul with a punishment so deep that even the angels will turn away. So ask yourself, if this verse came down today, would you be afraid it was about you?